Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Janera, and today I'm going to be reviewing Summer Friday's new sheer skin tint with hyaluronic acid and squalene, as well as their new Shadedrops mineral milk sunscreen with SPF 30. So if you're interested in seeing the try on, review, and wear test of these products, then keep on watching. Alright, so before we get into this new skin tint, I first just want to talk about their new sunscreen. This is their Shadedrops Mineral Milk Sunscreen with an SPF of 30. And this new sunscreen also came out not too long ago, so I'm going to be pairing it with the skin tint today, and I'll read you guys a couple of these claims. So this is a clean vegan formula with a natural finish. It's also hydrating, fragrance-free, and real safe SPF. It's for normal, dry, combination, and oily skin. It's supposed to address dryness and dullness. It's a lightweight serum. And then for the highlighted ingredients, it does have zinc oxide, squalene, and antioxidant complex. You also get 1.7 ounces of product, and it does retail for $36. Just like the skin tint, you're supposed to shake it before using it. And I'm just gonna apply a good amount. And as you can see, even though I used a lot of it, there's no white cast. It just gives the skin a really pretty glow. Alright, so next I'll be using their sheer skin tint with hyaluronic acid and squalene. They did send me 4 of their shades to try out, so I'll be swatching these shades for you guys. But before I swatch these shades, I'll read you guys a couple of the claims. This is a lightweight skin tint that layers beautifully for sheer to light coverage with a natural looking finish. It has tiger grass, which is supposed to help soothe the skin and reduce the look of redness. Humectant blend, which is glycerin and hyaluronic acid, and that's supposed to help to visibly plump fine lines and support a healthy feeling moisture barrier. And then it also has rich emollient, squalene, vitamin E, safflower, and avocado oils, and that's supposed to lock in hydration and help the formula glide evenly over the skin. And this is also a clean vegan formula that retails for $42. So here's the packaging. It's 1 ounce of product, and then it has a dropper just like the sunscreen. And then also one thing to point out, the skin tint does not have SPF, which is why it's good that I paired it with the sunscreen. And then I'm gonna swatch these in order. I have shades 6, 7, 8, and 9. And this is a watery formula, so I'll try my best to keep these swatches neat. All right, so here are the swatches. On top is 6, next is 7, 8, and 9. I think my perfect match would be mixing 6 and 7. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use shade 7. And I'll be using my Pinnacle foundation brush from Anissa Beauty to apply this skin tint. And I'm gonna put it on one side of my face, and then we'll see how that looks, and I'll add it to the other side. And I'm just gonna start off with a light amount. Let me put a little bit on the forehead. Alright, so good thing I didn't mix shade 6 and 7. I think that shade 7 is the perfect match for my skin. And then as you can see, it definitely has sheer coverage, but it does cover up some of this redness, so that's good. Alright, so I'm gonna add it to the other side now. I'm gonna try to use the same amount. And this is how it looks on both sides. As you can see, it has a very pretty natural finish, and that's one major difference between this one and the skin tint from Rare Beauty. The Rare Beauty skin tint, after I applied it, it was just extremely radiant, like very shiny, but this one has very pretty subtle glow to it, which I like a lot more. Next, I'll be using the Radiant Creamy Concealer from NARS in the shade Caramel. And I'm just gonna be using a little pinch of my setting powder from Laura Mercier in the shade Honey. And I'll also be using a little bit of my cream bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Tan. And I'm just gonna add a little dimension to my face. And then a little bit of the Mocha Mami bronzer by Fenty on my eyelids, just to give it a nice neutral base. And then I'll be using the Rich Betch palette from One Size Beauty. And I'll be using this shade right in the middle. And this is the powder shade. I'm just gonna use a little bit of this. I like how natural this blush looks. And I'm also going to use a little pinch of highlighter. This is Copper Glow from Bobbi Brown. Just a little bit. And then next I'm gonna hop off camera real quick and finish my eyebrows and mascara, and I'll be right back. All right, so I am back, and this is my attempt of the no makeup look. Usually, even when I use skin tints, I always have to use top liner and bottom liner, but today I just use mascara on the eyes, and this is how the look came out. I really like the finish of this skin tint and how it pairs really nicely with the concealer. Usually my preferred everyday look is a medium coverage foundation and not a skin tint, just because I feel like it takes the same amount of time to apply, and then I also like the added coverage. But I do like the natural pretty finish of this skin tint. I feel like it has a very subtle glow to it, which just makes the skin look super hydrated. I'm very interested to see how this skin tint wears throughout the day, so I'll be back in about 6 hours. I'll be doing a wear test, and I'll see you guys soon. Alright, so I'm back with the 8-hour wear test for this skin tint. I was only gonna do a 6-hour wear test, but I've just been dragging to get to bed, so it's officially been 8 hours, which is actually how long I test my foundations for. So I'm actually very impressed with this formula. I think it's held up really well. My skin still feels super dry. There's not that much oil coming through my T-zone. And from this pretty natural finish to how well it's lasted, this is officially my favorite skin tint. The finish isn't overly radiant or shiny. It truly is a natural finish. Another thing that I like about this formula is that it's very lightweight. It doesn't feel like I've really added anything to the skin. And then because it has hyaluronic acid, it's also very hydrating. Usually with skin tints, as soon as I apply it, it's usually very radiant, and then I have to use setting powder to tone it down before I like it. But with this one, it did look nice on its own. Like, I did add setting powder just because I usually get oily, but if I didn't have oily skin, I still would have really liked the finish. The only downside with this skin tint is that there's only 10 shades. I definitely think that they need to add some in-between shades, but that's my only complaint. Overall, this formula is comfortable on the skin. It's lightweight and looks very natural. I definitely recommend it for oily and combination skin. For the Shadedrops sunscreen, I really like how there's no white cast after applying it, and then it also gives the skin a really nice pretty glow before applying the skin tint. It's like a really nice base for it. I think both products work really well together. But yeah, those are my final thoughts on this new sheer skin tint and Shadedrops sunscreen from Summer Fridays. If you have any questions about either of these products, let me know and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys for tuning in for another video. If you are new here, welcome, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys at the next video. Bye.